The Feelworld Master MA7. Now that's how you name a monitor, and that's what we're going to be reviewing in this video. This is the fourth monitor we've reviewed on the channel, so let's see if it's better than the rest. Welcome to the Film Locker. This week's episode is sponsored by rocketstock.com. Check out their creator video element pack for logo reveals, end screens, subscriber animations, and much more. All designed with vloggers and content creators in mind. Links in the description below. Let's start off with the build quality of the MA7. It's the best out of all of the monitors we own, as it has an all metal body with the other ones all being plastic. I still wouldn't recommend dropping it, but if you do drop the MA7, it will take a harder hit than the other monitors we own. There are 8 buttons on the top of the monitor: power, menu, 4 navigation buttons to go through the menu, and also 2 custom function buttons. When you're not using the menu, it would be great to have the left and right buttons also as function buttons. Currently, they are being used to change the volume of the monitor, as the monitor has a headphone jack. Having the volume controls set as 2 of the main buttons is a bit of a waste. They could be set to more useful functions that you would use when shooting. More on the software features later on. This could all change and be updated as the monitor has a USB firmware upgrade port. The MA7 has both HDMI in and out, which allows you to daisy chain the video signal to another monitor. This comes in handy if you have a focus puller who is operating away from the camera, or you have a director's monitor set up. Just like all of the other monitors we own, this one can be powered via NPF batteries or via a DC cable. The screen is 7 inches and has a resolution of 1920 by 1200 pixels, so it means it's super sharp and is much sharper than the Sony a7S camera monitor. The screen has a 160-degree viewing angle, which means you can literally view the image from any angle. You will have to calibrate this monitor to make it match your camera. This takes a little trial and error by changing the colour tones of the monitor and the backlight brightness. I would say I got the colour, contrast and brightness to about 95%. We've had to calibrate the 4 monitors we own, so it's not just the Feelworld Master MA7 that requires this. This monitor will work with 4K cameras with a resolution of 1920 by 1200 pixels. The MA7 does have a latency of around about 4 frames, but the other 3 monitors we own all have the same latency. We've used these monitors on all types of projects and you don't really notice the latency when shooting. You only really notice it when you go by frame, which you're never really going to do. We are seeing a trend with monitors in this price range. They all have very similar features and some have the same menus. So let's talk about the functions that we use the most. The first function button is set to false color. The second one is set to zebras, which you can even change the IRE exposure level to match it with your camera. I personally like to always have center markers on, and sometimes we will use the ratio markers to help frame up if we plan to add bars on in post. The monitor also has an audio meter which you can have on screen at all times, which is a nice feature to have. The monitor comes with 2 HDMI cables, a mini and a micro, so you can start using the camera straight away depending on which HDMI socket your camera has. Ours also come with a battery, but you're definitely going to need more. The camera comes with a screen hood. First you have to clip the frame and then velcro the hood onto that. A problem we have found is when you clip the frame onto the monitor, it hides the graphics which indicates which HDMI socket is which, as you have both HDMI in and out. This is just a design fault and doesn't affect the operation of the monitor in any way, but it's worth knowing. You also get a standard ball head mount, which isn't the best we've ever had, so if you're looking for a good monitor mount, check out our video on the Andy Cine hot shoe mount. We think it's the best one out there, and you can find a link to that video at the end of this one. Depending on where you buy this monitor will depend on the accessories you get in the box. If you do want to buy this monitor, you can find a link in the description. It really helps this channel out if you use it. So is this monitor better than the 3 others we have? The long answer is, if you're looking for a 7-inch monitor, you'll not be disappointed with the Master MA7, especially for the price. The monitor has a little bit of setup, but this is no different from the other monitors we have. The viewing angle is great, and it has all of the software features you need. The most important thing about this monitor is that it does not slow you down and get in the way when shooting. It just works. Let us know in the comments below about the monitors you use, and if there's any software features you would like us to test on this monitor. Consider subscribing if you haven't already, but if you have, spread the word. We love making these videos, and remember, achieve it one shot at a time.